everybody. Let's see, let's get my computer all set up here. There we go. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this episode of the Love Over Fear show. When I do that intro, does anyone else hear that song from that show, or that movie? Oh my God, what was it? Oh my God. It was with Amanda Bynes. She pretends to be a boy. She's a soccer player. And there's this little tune that's like, welcome to Illyria. Welcome, 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 welcome. I hear it every time in my head. Every single time. Anyway, hi. Welcome, everyone. I am Sarah, for anyone who doesn't know me. I am the lead body-mind integration expert here at Healing Embodied. I work alongside of Chelsea Horton, our lovely, sometimes fearless leader. I always want to call her our fearless leader, and she would be like, that's not true at all. Our courageous leader, heyo. So nice to be here and do another one of these episodes. I love this series that Chelsea and I have started, the Love Over Fear show. It's one of my favorite things that we do here. I love it. For anyone who doesn't know what the heck I'm talking about, if you've never joined for the Love Over Fear show, if this is your first episode, yay, glad you're here. This show is sort of our version of a podcast. Someday may become an actual podcast, but this is kind of the Healing Embodied version of our podcast. This is a show that we do twice a month here in the free Moving Beyond Fear Facebook community. If you are seeing this video at a later time on YouTube or Instagram and you're not part of the Moving Beyond Fear community, come on over. We want you in there. That's our free relationship anxiety support group, or support page, I should say. This show is kind of like podcast meets TED Talk meets educational webinar. We kind of just take it all and mash it together. That's what the show is. It's really meant to help you feel empowered, feel inspired. We are very, very intentional about what episodes we do, what sort of things we discuss, what we approach, what we talk about, how we structure these episodes, which one comes first in the month, which one comes second. We're very, very intentional about it. And recently we have switched over the format in Moving Beyond Fear to be monthly themes instead of daily themes. How's that feeling for everyone? I'm obsessed. I love it. It feels so much more in line with how we work. And I'm loving it. So we recently switched that format, and we have been tying in these episodes to whatever our theme is for the month. But yeah, this show is just meant to help you feel empowered, inspired. It's meant to educate you. It is not meant to replace the work. This show is not the work. Just listening to the show, just watching the show, that ain't the work. But it is meant to help get you closer to the work or supplement the work that you're doing. We know here at Healing Embodied that it is possible to feel crazy, madly in love, and fearful all at the same time. That is why many of you are here. These are two of the main driving forces for human behavior. We act out of fear, we act out of love, but we want to help you choose love over fear every single time. That's why we're here. That's why I'm here today. So, without further ado, let us jump in. Today's episode is, what does it mean to be courageous? What does it mean to be courageous? I'm channeling my Brene Brown here today. She is all about courage and vulnerability and shame. Love it. I love that stuff. So I'm pulling her in today. So the theme this month in our Moving Beyond Fear community is living courageously, living every day, moving through life from a place of courage. And what the hell does that actually mean? That's what we're going to dive into today. What does that actually mean? What does it mean to be courageous? So some of you have already been posting in the group this week with this new theme. I love it. I've loved reading all of your posts. And today we're just going to kick off this theme even more. We are just diving straight into, what does it mean to be courageous? If you are out there live, say hi. We are just kind of like faces on a screen here, but I know that there are real people. When I see that little eyeball pop up and it says like 1, 2, 3, 4, people are watching. I know that those are actual people over there, so, and I am an actual person. Hi, this is my office. Welcome. Glad you're here. So say hi. Let's be people, shall we? Yeah, comment. Let me know you're here. Say hi. Let me know how you're feeling about what we're talking about. Interact. I promise you it'll be a lot more fun for you if you're interacting. Okay? And hopefully I will see your comments on my computer. Sometimes I don't, but recently I have been, so I'm going to bank on that. Yes, so if you're here, say hi. All right. Courage. Let's dive on in, shall we? So, when we are living with anxiety, when anxiety is running the show, when it is sitting in the driver's seat of our lives, it is dictating what we do, when we do it, how we do it, who we do it with, etc. Fear is just kind of the captain of the ship. It is running the show. That is when we are living from a place of fear. Okay? We are seeing everything in life through this lens of fear. Essentially, like if you took glasses, ooh, I look very different without these on. Glasses that literally were just tinted with fear, and you put them on, everything is going to look a little bit scarier, a little bit riskier. It would be like if you picked up a pair of sunglasses that were purple. Everything you look at, it's not going to be just like a purple wash, but everything is going to have a little bit of a purpley tint to it. You might be able to tell, like, that is a white wall, but it looks a little bit purple, okay? Same thing if you are looking through the lens of fear. You might be able to see, like, okay, that's just a low-level decision, but it's going to have a tint of fear to it. Okay, so we see it through the lens of fear, and we start making decisions in our lives based around fear. The choices we make, the decisions we make are based on the fear that we feel. Okay? We start doing things not because we want to, not because they are in line with our values, but because we are afraid not to. Or we are afraid of what might happen if we didn't do this thing, or because we are trying to avoid fear, or avoid discomfort, or avoid a certain emotion, okay? In life, we are trying to do the things we want to do, and do the things that are in line with who we are as people and how we want to live life, right? And when fear is in the driver's seat, we stop doing that. We start doing things completely based around fear, okay? So really think about this for a minute. When was the last time that you made a choice or a decision based around fear? When was the last time that this happened? Think about what was the choice that you made, what was the situation you were faced with, how did fear influence that decision or that action? Was it like a huge, glaring, screaming fear in your ear? Was it like a quiet whisper? Was it kind of sneaky and seductive, like, that's kind of scary, don't do it? Was it like full on panic, like, oh my god, don't go over there? What was the face of fear? Was it a sensation in the body? How did fear show up? How did it influence you? If you're here live, share. Comment below. Share with me. Share with us. When was the last time that you made a choice based around fear? And how did that show up? Talk us through that a little bit. Okay. So first things first here. You're like, Sarah, I came here to talk about courage, and you're just talking about fear. Yeah, I'll get to the courage stuff. Okay, hold on. First, we need to recognize how fear is often running the show for us. Chelsea did an episode many moons ago of this Love Over Fear show, where she talked about all of the sneaky ways that fear keeps us stuck. Some of the things she talked about was fear causes you to doubt causes you to doubt everything. It doesn't want you to take risks. Okay, so it causes you to doubt yourself, your choices, your feelings, your thoughts, your partner, your relationship, your career, your friends, your memories. It just causes you to doubt everything. Fear tries to keep us in the familiar, even if the familiar is uncomfortable, even if the familiar doesn't feel great. Fear tries to keep us there because it is what is known. It's what's predictable. It's what we're used to. Okay, it doesn't like change, so it keeps us in the familiar. Fear makes us keep one foot out the door, one foot in, one foot out. A little bit of straddling both sides here. In our relationships, we can't commit because we have one foot in, one foot out. In our career, you might be moving forward in your career like, yeah, I'm doing this now, but maybe I don't really know if I want to, so I'll just kind of like be reading up about these other things, and maybe I'll just go back to school, or maybe I'll just do this, or maybe I'll just find a new career. Kind of one foot in, one foot out, kind of this teetering the line. Fear causes us to meaning make. It causes us to interpret and place meaning on everything. So we can't just sit with the sensations. We can't just sit with what's happening. We feel this like, oh, well, I'm feeling tension in my gut. That must mean blah, 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 blah. Okay. Chelsea said, when I made decisions out of fear, it felt very urgent and loud. Yes, I have to do it right now. I have to figure this out right now. I have to make a choice right now. I can't sit with the discomfort. I can't sit with the choice. I can't sit with the uncertainty. I can't sit with the unknown. I have to know right now. It has to happen right this second, or something terrible is going to happen. Yeah. Fear-based decisions often feel that way. Very urgent, very loud, because that's the voice of fear. Right? It tells you you have to do it right now or something horrible is going to happen. 100%. Are any of these sounding familiar? Fear causing you to doubt, keeping you in the familiar, keeping one foot in, one foot out, meaning making, interpreting. Any of this sound familiar to anybody? Let me know. Yes or no. If you say no, you might not be in the right place here. I'm kidding. Stay. Don't leave me. Okay. So, we need to recognize how fear is running the show. This is the pattern of anxiety. This is the voice of fear. This is how fear starts to show up and dictate our lives. We kind of like hand our lives over to fear. We say, here you go. Good luck. Take it away. Let me know what to do, right? We give our power completely to fear. So, this brings us to courage. Heyo, why we're all here today, right? This brings us to courage. So, many people think that courage is the absence of fear. Courage, experiencing courage, is experiencing the absence of fear. And I am here to tell you that that is bullshit. That is not true. Okay? Courage is doing something in the face of fear. Courage is feeling the fear, it's recognizing it, it's acknowledging it, and it is choosing to move forward anyway. That is what courage is. It is not the absence of fear. It is not waiting for the fear to be gone. It is not waiting to feel 100% certain beyond a shadow of a doubt. It is not believing in your whole heart and soul that you're doing the right thing. Courage has nothing to do with doing the right thing or figuring out the answer. It's actually not about that. It's not about right and wrong. It's not about good and bad. It's not either or. Courage is about being present with the fear you are feeling and not letting the fear make the choices for you. Okay? I had a client today, actually in group, who was kind of describing this sensation of feeling both fearful and also powerful and making choices. And she described this sensation as this kind of swimming upstream. Okay, you're feeling the current, that's the fear, you're feeling where it wants to take you, and you're choosing to swim in a different direction, to move a different way, to find a different path. I just freaking loved that metaphor, that analogy that she described, because that's exactly what courage is. It's not that the waters are suddenly perfectly still. It's not that suddenly the tide shifts and you go the other way. No, the water can still be raging. It can be freezing cold. It can be trying to pull you one way, and you choose to go a different direction. That is what courage is. Boom. That's what it is. Okay? Yeah. Let me check in. Chelsea said, very familiar to all of the sneaky tactics of fear. Yeah, hell yeah, same. Shows up in all sorts of ways all the time. And most of us wait around for the fear to go away. And then we wait our whole lives and then we die. Sorry to be a little morbid. I'm kind of in like a no nonsense sort of mood this week. It's something's in retrograde. Is it Mercury or something? I don't know. Something's always in retrograde. But I'm in like a no nonsense kind of mood here. Yes, love that metaphor. Me too, about swimming upstream. Yeah. So that's what most of us do. We just wait around. We're thinking like, oh, the fear is still here. The fear is still here. The fear is still here. So I can't do anything. I'm just paralyzed by the fear. While the fear is here, I can't do anything. No. No, 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 no. Courage is feeling fear. You are feeling fear. And you are choosing to do something else. Okay? Oh, my puppy. Did you hear her? She's probably feeling some fear right now. I don't know why, but she is. Anyone out there ever let fear make choices for you sometimes? Do you ever do or not do something and then blame fear for it? Yeah, I used the V word. Anyone blame their fear for their lives? I know I have before. Again, if you say no, I'm going to question you. You can try it, but I'm still going to question you. Okay, so think back to that situation you were thinking about earlier when I told you to think of a time that you made a choice based around fear and what that looked like for you. And close your eyes here for a minute with me. Stick with me, just close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Think back to that time that you made a decision from a place of fear. Think back to that time. Okay, kind of bring it on in. Notice what it brings up for you. Notice the memories. Notice the sensations. Just kind of bring that back into your consciousness. What were you feeling? What was the situation? What were you feeling? What was going on in the body? What was your mind saying? What was the voice of fear? How was it showing up? Was it loud and urgent in your face? Was it quiet and sneaky? How did the fear influence you? Just remember that for a moment. And if you could go back, and step into your courage, step beyond fear, acknowledge it, step beyond it, and do what you want to do, what is in line with your values, even in the face of fear, what would be different? How would it have looked different? Just breathe, just close your eyes and consider it. If I could be faced with that decision again today, and I could feel the fear isn't gone, it's still there, it's still very much present, but I could step into courage. I could live in line with my values even in the face of fear. What would that look like? What would it look like? How would my body shift? How would my voice shift? How would my relation to others shift? What would be different? Okay, open your eyes. Slowly shake it out. Make a little sound. Whew, connect to the body. Ayo. How was that? How did it feel? What was different? What was different for you? Maybe it was subtle. Maybe you just softened or sat up a little straighter. Maybe it was huge. Maybe it was a big difference. Maybe you were like a whole different person. Okay, what was different? Comment below. Tell me. Let me check in with some comments here. It's so easy to blame the fear. Guilty, I've blamed my fear many times. Hell yeah. Me too. Me too. Yes. And, you know, fear is often the culprit. However, it's not fear's job to fix it. We can't put that responsibility on our fear. We can't say, oh, it's fear's fault and fear has to fix it. No. It might have been because of fear and we have to fix it. We have to do something different. That's on us. That's not on our fear. It's on us, right? Responsibility, baby. Let's see, can fear still be there even if we do not physically feel it? Absolutely. Absolutely. Fear looks a million different ways. Sometimes it manifests in the body, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes fear looks like numbness or like shutting down. It doesn't always look like that hyper arousal, right? We talk about the window of tolerance a lot. I have it here. Hold on. Boom, bam. So window of tolerance, this is what we can, I talk about this every month, don't I? This is all of the events, sensations, experiences that we can tolerate without being spiked into a fear response. A fear response can sometimes look like hyper arousal, which is probably what people think of when they think of anxiety. Heart beating faster, getting hotter, getting shaky, getting that like panicky feeling. Fear can also be hypo arousal. It can be that kind of shutting down. Not really feeling much, not really doing much. So we might not feel it, but fear can still be present, right? If we're not living in line with our values, if we're consistently making choices that are based around limiting beliefs or views, that can signal that fear is present, even if it's not what you expect to be the physical manifestation of it. Okay, what would have been different? I would have felt more powerful and trusting of myself. Yes. Yes. I would have felt less scattered and more grounded rather than thrashed about by the fear. Yeah. So instead of this like, oh my God, what's happening, what's happening, what's happening? It would have been this like, whoa, okay, all right. Whew, here I am. Here I am. More grounded, more present, instead of this like, blah, 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 getting thrown around. See, my fear of being alone or single kept me in many toxic relationships, and now my fear of being alone is creating anxiety in an entirely healthy relationship. I hate it. Yes, so that fear of being alone is showing up in all of these different places. Sometimes it's kept you trapped in toxic relationships. Now it's causing you to push away or feel fearful in a healthy relationship. So what's under there, right? What's living under the surface of fear of being alone and single? What's so scary about being alone and single? What would that mean about you? What would that mean about your life? How would you feel if that came true? If you were single, what would happen? If you were single forever, what would you feel? What's beneath there, right? Peel it back, baby. Let's see, anything else? Beautiful. Okay. Yes, so now take this to today. Take it to right now in this moment. We can't go back to that place that we were remembering, right? We can't. We don't need to. We don't want to. It's in the past. But we can learn from it. We can take it into today. So right now in this moment, how can you step into courage? What choices can you make today in the face of fear? Tell me. If you're here, tell me right now. Breathe. Don't feel like, oh, I have to answer. Breathe. Okay. What choices can you make today in the face of fear? Okay, think about that for a minute. Chelsea's going to be doing an episode in a few weeks about embodying your courage, because there is a huge difference between courage up here and courage down here. There's a very, very big difference between living in line with your values in your head versus in your whole body. Okay, so she's going to be talking about embodying your courage, how to take it into the body, helping you with that. In the meantime, we want to hear from you. Okay, so in this Facebook group, in Moving Beyond Fear, or if you are getting this video in an email, respond to this email and share what choices are you making in spite of fear being present. What are you making? What choices are you making even in the face of fear? We want to hear from you. Okay, and if you're like, I don't know, breathe. Breathe. It might be a really, really small, low-level decision. It might be small. I use this example all the time. It might be that you choose what you eat for dinner instead of saying like, I don't know, you can pick, to your partner. It might be that you choose what you watch. Okay. Or it might be you wear clothes that you really like, but you're kind of afraid your partner's not going to like, or your friends don't like, or your mom doesn't like. Okay. Start slow. Start small. What choices are you making even in the face of fear? Okay. That's what I want to hear from you. I'm so excited to hear. Okay. If you are thinking of some right now, comment them below. Let me read them. That is what I have for you today. Okay. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is doing things in the face of fear. See, Andrea said, making more decisions for myself in everyday life, to stay in my healthy relationship and actually experience it in the present, using techniques to empower myself over my ROCD intrusive thoughts. Absolutely. Taking your power back from fear and anxiety. Fear is no longer running the show. You are taking your power back and taking responsibility over your life. You are choosing to swim upstream, to stay in that healthy relationship and experience it for what it is in this exact moment, right? Not responding to this past narrative, not freaking out over what it's going to be in the future. What is it right now? And making decisions for yourself, trusting yourself to make decisions, and being present to everything that unfolds because of those decisions. It's not about making the perfect decision. It's not about making the most perfect, flawless decision. It's not about that. Nobody can do that. Nobody, right? It's about making the best choice for yourself with what you know and have at the time, and being present for anything that unfolds as a result of that decision, right? Yeah, hell yeah. I wanted to share one more thing with you all today. I posted about this last week, but I want to keep sharing about it. Chelsea and I are doing a new event. We've actually never done one of these before. We're doing a community clarity call next week on the 12th, October 12th at 6 p.m. Eastern time. So it's 3 p.m. Pacific time. Those are the only time zones that my brain can handle right now, and it's not even the time zone that I live in. So 6 p.m. Eastern time. You figure out what time that is for yourself. We're going to be doing a community clarity call. So this is going to be a free live event on Zoom. You have to register for the event in order to get the Zoom link. And it's going to be really open. We're going to answer your questions about relationship anxiety. We're also going to be providing education on ourselves, our stories, our method, our programs, how we can support you in this. We're going to answer your questions. We're going to share a bit about us and how we can support you. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be cool, okay? Everybody loves a good Q&A. We've done Q&As like in Facebook groups before. We used to do it in Moving Beyond Fear many, many, many moons ago. We do Q&As in some of our groups. This is the very first just like open to the public, live, interactive Q&A that we've done. So I'm excited. I'm also feeling little flutters of like nerves and fear about it because it's brand new and we haven't done it before. And I'm gonna step into some courage and do it anyway because I think it's gonna be wonderful. But I'm feeling some flutters and that's okay. I can be present with the flutters, yeah? So I'll put the link here. Even if you can't join live, you will get the recording of the event if you register. Like I said, it's free, but you have to register to get the link for the Zoom room and the recording. So come join us. Ask your questions. We'll share a little bit. You'll share a little bit. It'll be fun and interactive. We'll have a good time. Okay, so hopefully you will join us there. Let's see. I have one more comment here. Spending quality time with my partner in our healthy relationship, even though I fear the doubts will pop up or my thoughts will start screaming, leave, 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 or what if X, Y, and Z happens? My body tends to want to retreat and isolate itself when these feelings and thoughts arrive. Yes, so you avoid having quality time with your partner because what if I feel fearful, right? That is what I was saying in the very beginning of this episode, is that we start to do things not because we want to do them, but because we're afraid not to, or we're afraid to, or whatever it might be, right? So I can't spend quality time with my partner because what if fear pops up? It's not even that fear, like the doubts of leave, leave, leave are popping up right now. It's like, what if I want to leave, right? That's how fear sneaks its way on in there, right? So I love that. One way of stepping into your courage is spending that quality time with your partner. And fear might show up and it might not, right? But not avoiding it just because maybe fear will pop up. Doing it anyway. And maybe fear will be there. Maybe it won't. And maybe a million other emotions will be there, right? But doing it anyway. I love that. Good for you. Let us know how it goes. All right, my dears. Thanks for hanging out with me. Short and sweet episode today. Yeah, baby. Courage. We love to see it. All right. Share in this Facebook group if you are a member, or respond to the email you're getting. Let us know, what choices are you making, even in the face of fear this week. And join us next week for the Community Clarity Call. I'm excited. I hope to see you all there. Take care, everyone.